Thank you very much. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to be here in Tokyo. My name is Hamish Anderson. I'm the co-founder and chief executive of MoneyMover. MoneyMover does three different things. Firstly, we provide an international payment service to businesses and high net worth individuals in the UK. We help them make international payments, we help them convert currencies from one currency account to another. We provide integrated payment services for our partners, so we build our technology, or we white label our technology into the web applications of the partners that we work with. And thirdly, we provide technology services for financial institutions. We've put a lot of effort into our user interface and user experience, and we can license that to banks and other financial institutions to plug into their own payment services quickly and easily to upgrade their payment systems in their own platforms. Let me tell you a little bit about MoneyMover. There are 7 of us in the team at the moment. We've got something like 350 customers activated on the platform. We're a member of Level 39, which is the most famous and the largest UK financial technology accelerator. We've been operating for just over 3 years. We launched in 2014. And so far we've processed something like 125 million euros worth of transactions. We're authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom. And we've received something like £1.7 million worth, so what's that, 200 million yen, I guess, of private funding so far. We're based in Cambridge, which is about an hour north of London in the United Kingdom, a famous university city. And we've just come out of an accelerator with PwC, a well-known professional services firm, which introduced us to the PwC organisation and also to their enterprise clients. So what's the problem that we're trying to solve? Well, I don't know whether you've made an international payment recently, but certainly if you're a business trying to make a cross-currency transfer, you'll probably have found it quite a confusing process. You may not have known what exchange rate you were going to get on your currency transaction. You certainly wouldn't have known what the mid-market exchange rate was, and you may not have known when your payment was actually going to reach your intended beneficiary. Payment services also lack in functionality. From work we've done with some of the banks in the UK, we know that business banking services are based on personal platforms, so they don't offer very much in the way of reporting or tools or features that are useful to businesses. Most importantly, they're expensive. The fee that you see when you carry out an international transaction is only a very small part of the cost of that transaction. Most of the cost is loaded into the exchange rate that you pay, which is often not very good at all. And I'll tell you more about that in a second. So we built a web application to solve this problem. And our web application is transparent and intuitive. You have all the facts you need at your fingertips to make an informed decision when your payment's going to get there, what the exchange rates are, and what the costs are associated with that transaction. We've built lots of features in consultation with our customers. So for example, you can do a forward payment. You can lock in an exchange rate for say 3 months in the future if you want to guarantee a cash flow in the future. And we've built mini payroll tools. So you can make a series of dollar or sterling payments to a number of beneficiaries in a very, very simple way. And it's low cost. We've put a lot of effort into our user interface, the front end that our customers see, and it's been independently assessed by McKinsey as being class leading, so we know it's very, very strong. We've tried to make it easy to understand, and it looks quite different from the systems that you may see may be offered by your banks. We've worked hard to make it look like it, to make it work in a way that a business would expect it. Let's have a look at cost for a second. About a year ago, we did a piece of research with a consultancy called Report, and we looked at the costs involved in making an international transfer. So here's an example of the total costs for making a transfer of £50,000 sterling into yen. And it can be as expensive as 4% if you use one of the big UK retail banks like Barclays, but it's under 1%, it's nearly 75 basis points, 0.75% as a single all-inclusive fee if you use MoneyMover. So the savings from our service are material. We have 3 specific products: Transact, which is our standalone international payments platform for SMEs; Integrate, which is our white label platform used by our partners, where we build our payment service into an existing partners offering, and software where we license our technology stack and our user interface and our user experience to financial institutions wishing to upgrade or build their own payment service very quickly. We prototyped our solution with NatWest Bank, which is part of Royal Bank of Scotland in the UK, and that prototype went extremely successfully, but we're also working with a number of other corporate partners. What are we doing in Tokyo? We're looking for partners. We've built a very strong technology and financial platform. Now we wish to scale it, and we want to benefit from the client base of our partners. So if you're a bank and you're looking to upgrade your front end, if you're a financial institution or a corporate with clients and want to add a payment service as part of your client proposition, then talk to us. Our strategic partners will also have an opportunity to invest. Here are some of the customers and partners we have already. And it simply remains for me to say thank you very much for your attention. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. And I look forward to answering any questions that you may have after the session. Thank you.
Okay, good morning everyone. We are BankX. We're a top 50 startup in the world in terms of finance. Here in Japan, we present our solutions on blockchain because mainly we are in the blockchain area. We have an office in Moscow, development office, engineers are all there. We have a sales office in New York. We recently opened an office in Geneva, and we want to open something in Hong Kong and Tokyo. So here's a demo that we roughly built for you. Who here knows what blockchain is? Okay, great. Ethereum, smart contracts, proof of stake, proof of work. Okay, so what we do here is proof of asset protocol. This is kind of our invention, and it's a set of several solutions on legal, financial, and technological side that allows us to make an asset what we call a smart asset. So this is a really complex scheme. Unfortunately, I don't have time to explain it truly, but our proof of asset protocol, as we indicate here, is a set of a few methods, first of which is digitization. When a party our customer has an asset and he wants this asset to be tokenized, basically what tokenization is, just briefly I will explain to you. When you have an asset and this asset has a value, but this value is kind of locked within the asset, so basically you cannot put it to the market. And unfortunately, a situation like that diminishes the value of the asset. For example, if you have a real estate or a car and you need to drop it next day, you will not drop it at a fair price. You need a substantial amount of effort and time just to receive something like closer to a market price. In our case, when we have large corporations or banks or real estate owners, the amount of assets they have is basically untradeable. It's very, very hard to sell it. And what we do for them is actually we can wrap it into digital derivative kind of securitization process, but we do not use a security, we use a digital crypto token and throw it to the market. And actually, market right now is booming and people just buy everything. So this works very well. And to do that, we can actually do it with very simple steps. First of it is, so here's digitization. Here's an example of a real estate. Say we're here in this building, and first we need to digitize the asset. Then this building belongs to probably Mitsubishi Estate, or not probably, maybe for real. Anyway, we need to digitize the asset. So basically, we can use blueprints, we can use VR, we can use whatever technology is. We can just manually scan all the floors and get how much square meters in this building is. So this is digitization. So we kind of prove that this venue, this facility has this amount of tradable asset. Secondly, we validate that. So we implement sensors and technologies of computer vision by coincidence developed by my company. So we have them in-house. We don't need to buy them anywhere. And we can do it by implementation of like tracking sensors, moving sensors, crossing sensors, and we can do it by also means of computer vision, where we can track faces, we can recognize faces, so you basically come to the office and the door opens because it recognizes your face. And it works so well that actually it's right now tested in Russia on ATM machines. So it recognizes daughter from mother, a brother from another brother if they're twins. So the algorithm is really advanced. I'll show you a brief demo. So this is a tracking system. So basically you can use it on the floor. Here we, it's not working. Yeah, I'm done. Here's YouTube. This is for real. So basically you select the floor, you select the part of the floor that you want to track or part of the video that you want to track, and it tracks the amount of visitors there. And we have about 10 of these solutions, like dropped luggage if somebody's forgot that for counterterrorism or whatever, if a person is wandering without any reason. So this is all automated. You don't need a security officer, you don't need someone with a counter to count the people. You don't need even a sensor. Computer vision does that, just applying to your surveillance system. So here, this is the second step. This is a validation. So we validate the asset, and we understand that this asset is really worth something. And next thing, we wrap it into digital token and throw it to the market. I believe in the invisible hand of the market. So basically, the market will analyze the value of the asset and analyze also the performance of the asset. Because usually, when you own a piece of an asset, as an owner or as an investor, you rarely have an idea of how the asset is performing. If you buy a stock of Apple, you know how Apple performs only by reading quarter reports. That's it. You can buy a phone and feel that it's fine, but basically you have no idea how Apple's performing until the next report or annual report. If you buy a stock in some other company, car company, you can drive the car, but you don't know how the company is performing. In our case, we can actually break this situation and build a very, very solid link and bond between the asset and the transparency that is available to investors and to the owners, because for owners it's also a problem, because when they have 1,000 square meters, they know what happens there. If they have 1 million square meters, they have no idea what happens there.
Okay, pancakes. Time is up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, I thought I'd get a minute. All right. Yeah. So that's essence. We tokenize it, throw it to the market, and people buy that, and it's really, really fancy.
Okay, if you want to listen to the continuation, please grab them outside after the session.
Sorry guys.
Thank you very much.
通信内容発ベンチャーです。私どもですね、青年用のコードを使って個人で e コマースの決済とか消費の店舗の決済ができます。まず青年用のコードを指でタッチしますとこのようにですね、データを入手できるんですね。で、そこにあるですね、G スタンプ、これはですね、こちらでドットコードを呼びます。ドットコードというのはですね、クモンの E ペンシルというタッチすることもできない私どもで年間15万まで作ってありますね。でそれでドットコードを読んで、ここでドットコードを読みます。読んで、タッチします。で、ポイントが発行。今度スタンプを発行しましょう。じゃあゲームです。今度コンテンツをプレゼントします。で今度はリズムにつなぎます。でこれでインターネットにつなぎます。でこのような鍵にタッチしてデータをスマホに送るんですね。で我々今ですね、このようにカード化しようということでなっております。この裏側にもですね、電極がついておりますね。でこれが電極、これが電極、そしてこれがですね、フォトダイオードがついています。光でデータをスマホで取得します。中に入っているのはこれなんですが、実際にやってみましょう。これでですね、炒めます。そうしますと、今、どんどん手でタッチするようにですね、どんどん情報を送っております。でこの情報を送るようになっています。で次はですね、今度は光コードを送ります。今これ点滅しております。この点滅をですね、先ほどのフォトダイオードが読んでいます。読み取ってますので、その再現して LED で光ってますね。スピードを速くします。もっと速くします。もっと速くします。このスピードでデータをスマホから受け取ります。 でこれによってですね、クラウドからワンタイムパス ID が来て、光コードを受け取って、取得された ID で計算して、静電容量コードでまたワンタイムパスワードをクラウドに返したり、完全な認証ができますね。でしかもですね、今電池がついてるんですが、将来ここにソーラーパネルをつけまして、スマホの明るさだけで電気を起こしていこうというふうなことを考えております。で次にですね、じゃあ、こういった電気的にですね、オンオフするもの、そしてですね、今このスタンプはですね、電気を使っておりません。人間の容量だけですね。それで回転させますと、4個のコードが発行できます。全部で設定は20万くらいのコードが発行できるんですが、これを回転することによって、ポイントの付与、あるいは消し込み、あるいは店舗の ID、あるいはキャンセルとかですね、どんなふうに設定しておるんですね、このスタンプを使うことができます。で次にですね、さらに廉価版で、このようなカードを作りました。中はですね、回路このようになっているんですね。で皆さんの手元にですね、こんな資料があると思いますが、ちょうど今、サンプルを作っています。で実はまだこの URL はですね、アップしてないんで、ただ、QR コードはですね、私のホームページというようになっています。それで今から実験をします。ここにはですね、3つつまむということがあります。で今、カードの読み取りを開始します。こうですね。そして真ん中を持って遅れてあります。そうしますと、ピンコードを入力してくださいという画面が出ます。ピンコードを入力して、初めてですね、これで、入力ができるんですね。だから、オレオレ詐欺というようなことができないんです。ピンコードだけですね、教えて、入力まで、これで認証に成功しました。初めて、このつまみで、真ん中をつまみです。これミュージックです。ここをつまんであげて、こうやってました。今度はですね、この端ですね、一番端。これは YouTube のマークです。これにこう入れられます。でそうすると YouTube の映像が始まる。このようにですね、ここにも書いてありますように、3つ持ち手があります。その持ち手によってタッチすると、その数字を行える。で、これはウェブでも、今はですね、ウェブを開いてるんですね。だから、普通のホームページの中に組み込んで、それをタッチすれば、今のことができる。世界初のもちろん、アプリをダウンロードすることによってですね、スマホの ID と、そしてこのカードの ID、そしてピンコード、これを融合させますと何ができるか。プッシュメールを送りますコミュニケーションができる。このカード発行者がですね、どんどんプッシュメールを送ってですね、週末は10倍ポイント、5倍ポイント、そんなこともできてしまうんですね。でこんなものを今、開発をしております。でちょっと簡単にこれを説明しますと、今一番この左上がですね、音楽カード、これは例えばコンビニで1500円とか CD の代わりです。でもこれを使うことによって、発行者とつながりますから、じゃあ新譜が出たよとかですね、いろんな情報を送ってあげることができるんですね。で隣にはですね、これはギフトカードですね、3万円のギフトカード。でまたピンコードを入れてあげることによって、スマホ ID に対して、メールを送ったりということができてしまう。で右側はですね、これは店舗のですね、プロモーションですね。それから下はカードゲーム、カードゲームというのはですね、年間そうですね、1000億円のビジネスになっています。こんな分野に私ども静電容量コード技術を使っていただきたいと思っています。よろしくお願いいたします。
ありがとうございました。
Hi, my name is Tommy Lee. I'm here to introduce our company, DVF. My name is Tommy Lee, not the biggest rock star. My name is Tommy Lee. I'm the Director of Operation and Director of Business Development at DVF. So, what is DVF? First of all, it's pronounced DVF. It came from an English word called divide up. It's a shortened word for it. DVF is basically a social wallet for a group to do social commerce, for social buying, for social paying, all of the above. So you're allowed to create a group, you're allowed to invite friends, and then you could collect money together and spend it together. That's what the motive is on DVF is. So if you look at this picture, it's a pretty familiar picture, right? You go out with your friends, have a dinner together, have a meal together, and then when the bill comes, you collect the cash and you pay with the collected cash. But then these days, the millennials and the new age doesn't like to carry cash or even credit card. So they expect everything to be done on mobile. So that's what DBM does. It allows you to pay money together, and with the collected amount of money, you get to pay anybody, any place, anywhere. So the opportunity for this business is quite huge. This is the number for Korea only, actually. It's $100 billion. This metric is sharing bill, collecting money as a group, and sharing it together. So we did a market research with a company called GS Shop in Korea. It's a top e-commerce platform in Korea. And we found out that average person share a bill at least one time a day. And then the average amount is from $7 to $10. And that adds up over the years and it becomes $100 million. And we're trying to penetrate this market. The problem right now is, well, first of all, if you're using cash, you have to actually hand it to people. And that's a really, really, really big problem. And if you have cash, maybe you don't have the exact price or exact amount. You might not have the change. If you're a group admin that collects the money, you have to actually go ask them for money. If you're actually paying money as a member, you don't know where the money is being spent. So there's no transparency. And all these issues can be resolved with DBM. So let me give you a little intro video. So it's in Korean. He was the admin that paid for the dinner last night and asked for money back from the members. $20 each. So he's waiting for them to actually reply, but nobody does. So again, he does get some replies, but they're saying, well, I only stopped for a couple of drinks, so I have to pay for $20. Well, was it at like 1950? Well, I'll just pay you later, kind of thing. So he's very frustrated. So he feels that this group is not really working out. So we're providing a financial solution to resolve all these issues.
회비관리까지 손쉽게
야, 정말 할만나네.
So that's our service. Well, let me narrow it down a little bit. So you basically create a group and you invite your friends through your mobile messenger, such as Line or Kakao Talk or WeChat. So you invite your friends. You already have a friends list, and you just invite your friends through those social media or social messenger. And then with that, you get to collect money together. You could pay with your bank account or your credit card. And then with that, your the group creator is allowed to spend money in the aspect of the group. So and this is all shown transparently to every member of the group. So the paying money part is very simple. You just have to first of all register your bank account or credit card, of course. But then after that, you just have to set your amount, enter your PIN number, designated to your personal PIN number, and then confirm. And that's it. Your money is sent to the group, and you're done. So the industry that we're looking at is a convergence of finance, commerce, and social. I mean, you guys all know that the convergence is always happening in all around the industry. I mean, social commerce has been around for a couple of years now. Finance has been looking into converting to social to do social funding, social investment, commerce. I mean, social such as like Facebook and Instagram are looking into commerce to sell products in their platform. For DBM, we're a convergence of finance, commerce, and social. So we have a little feature that allows people to share pictures, share their experiences, comment on it, and really share your ideas and pictures. But the key aspect, or so we say secret sauce, for DBM is the data that we collect. So we not only collect who you are, who your friends are, where your spending occurs, when it occurs, the timing, the frequency of it, the amount that you spend, and what it purchases is all collected throughout there. So with our target, give me one more minute. With our marketing, we can not only pinpoint on localization, demographics, interest, and behavior.
Sorry about that.
also around the financials. So yeah.
We're on tight
Yeah.
schedule here.
Okay.
6 minutes.
Thank you
very
very
much, Divya.
Yep.
I think we're good. We're good to go. So, thanks for inviting me. I'm John Charles. I'm from Exports Monitor. Exports Monitor is an international single window marketplace for food and beverages and agricultural products based on blockchain. So we started by trying to identify the needs for international trade, and what we saw during our discoveries is that there's a huge risk right now for smaller SMEs in the regions that we operate, which is Europe, Middle East, and Eurasia, for being able to actually export their goods. The risks are customs clearance, local competition, export outside regulated European countries can be regulations, FDA's approvals, customs. So we kind of identified that the need for the SMEs to start exporting is find customer demand in specific target markets, innovation and efficiency of the exports. What we saw again, and this works for Europe, Middle East, and Asia as well, is that 80% of SMEs are not exporters. They're providing the goods to local companies. The local companies or large factories that are doing reverse factoring, they're getting the goods, they're adding value, and they're selling packaged products. So there's a huge added value that's being missing out there. So what we do actually is that we kind of used this platform to build an e-commerce platform that can help SMEs to start becoming exporting entities. So I'm not sure how many of you have done international trade, but it's a very complex process. From sending the samples, from getting the approvals, from concluding on Incoterms, for finding a freighter, from doing cargo insurance. So what we did is that we accumulate all these services through APIs with large freighters, with insurance companies. We have broker insurance license ourselves, with banks and the trade finance. And the way we started replicating this model is by actually partnering with banks, their trade financing departments. I'm not sure how many of you know that trade financing and factoring is one of the most profitable banking products right now. Not that many startups trying to kind of disrupt this kind of industry because they're not payments, they're not the low-hanging fruit that developers and startups can actually see that a bank is doing. So this is huge. And the idea is that we automate this process. Our USP is that we started with food and beverages, meaning that our perishable products, and we have managed with the courier service that we work with, which is UPS, FedEx, and to actually send samples in every place in the world in 56 hours. So you can get fish from Greece, or you can get tomatoes from Spain, and see the sample. If you're in China, kind of approval with the local FDA, and be able to clear customs faster. So this is a process that automates entire value chain. What we also found is that, talking about the Japan corridor to the rest of the world, is that we used 3 basic pillars to automate the process. One was that we had smart contracts and e-documents. Second was that we had a very clean UX that is kind of resembles a chatbot. So it's very simple for someone who has a Facebook Messenger, like a farmer or like a producer, to actually build a financial transaction and sell something in the local market in just one day. Because right now, if you know how this works, you're getting spam emails. 90% of this is garbage. You need to talk to these guys, ask for their bank details. It's a very complex process. So we've managed to run this kind of international trade deals in just one day. That right now they take like 25 days, 1 month. We've kind of gone through all the trade buyers, customs services, and I will show you how this works. So it's a typical marketplace business with some AI, some support for setting your prices or finding the best offers. We have both ends integration with demand generation. So the platform actually sends you demand, or the supplier actually gets proposition for actually buy. The deal can be closed on the chat per se. The chat acts as a dealing room. So you can actually conclude on Incoterms which port I'm going to send the cargo. You can actually get a quote for transportation. We're now working with large transporters like DSV, like Kuehne+Nagel, like Lufthansa Cargo, like Turkish Cargo. So we have partnered with Dubai government, and we're working with Dubai experts for the logistics of the region. We're based in UAE actually. You can buy your insurance, you can get the quotes, and you can check what insurance you want to get for the cargo. We have all the electronic documents, so it's very straightforward for the insurance company to get the documents for the transportation and run the insurance. And finally, we do the payment. We have integrated with banks in Europe. PSD2 right now in OpenAPI is, for this kind of project, is a low-hanging fruit because they're working with SMBs and SMPs. So you can actually pay your Swift payment through this platform. And the interesting thing is that we can also do trade financing by actually either uploading your invoice from your existing ERP or having your pro forma invoice from the platform sent to the bank. This is the dashboard we have for the bank, the trade financing department. We don't do any integration with their bank trading systems because it's going to be a pain right now, and we're very soft on delivering. And what we do is that they actually give them a dashboard with all the details of the transaction, and they actually say, the agent says, I want to finance this transaction or not. So the execution, we've been partnering with large retailers, supermarkets in Europe, in the Middle East, hotel chains, restaurant chains, large buyers. So we have a large buying capacity, a lot of awards this time of execution. We have partnered with banks, so we provide this platform to the SMB customers as a lead generation platform, so they bring more deals for them. So they upload their entire SMB database, so we don't do any customer acquisition ourselves. The bank partners do that for us. Right now we have something close to 2,000 players.
Okay, that's 6 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Next course.
Okay, my name is Kyle DuPont, and I'm the CEO and founder of Ohalo. So I don't know what you guys think about data governance, but it's pretty boring, right? Until you think about what it enables for banks if they do it right. So right now, banks are in a situation where they're losing money, their traditional business lines are under attack. There's new technology, like these great fintech firms here today that are invading what they've been doing normally, and they need some way to make money, right? And one of their biggest untapped assets is actually data, right? But the person in charge of allowing that data to move from point A to point B, right, sees this every morning. They see new fines, billions of dollars, regulations changing all the time, data breaches, and it's really hard, right? So I'm sure most of you have heard about Bitcoin, right? But who's heard about GDPR, or the e-privacy directive, or the 個人情報の保護に関する法律? It's it's a big problem for them, and it's a big risk. So what's the real issue, right? And the issue is, if all the data was in one spot, if it was in one database, you just put walls around it and protect it, and it's okay, right? But that's not how banks work, right? Even in a single division, a bank might be running 6,000 different applications. And multiply that by the number of divisions that they have, and it gets pretty unmanageable pretty quickly. So right now they hire thousands of people whose job it is to call each other on the phone, or write each other an email, or write some stuff down on a piece of paper. Or they can automate it, right? They can integrate databases, and that takes 10 weeks if they're lucky, and many millions of dollars. So we asked a bunch of chief data governance officers what their real problems were, and they listed three big themes. One was data access, actually getting physical access to the data and being able to have it. Two was data provenance. So after you access the data, how can you prove to internal and external auditors that I've done this correctly? And then three was regulatory uncertainty, or as regulations change over time, how can you be sure that you're still protected as a bank? So we asked several chief data governance officers, what they thought, and one of them told us, the chief information security officer for a very large bank, said that my magic wand would be a system that from creation to consumption to dissemination is able to label an inventory of my critical assets and information and keep the telemetry information of its usage. So let me show you our magic wand and then a little bit about how it works. Ohalo is a data marketplace that allows you to share, track, and comply with data. Our flagship product is the Ohalo Data Governance Antivirus. What it allows you to do is take care of data access and data provenance issues. So this 10 weeks we talked about, now take 10 seconds. And we've actually worked with banks and implemented this to know it. While we've been working with banks though, we've noticed that there's very long sales cycles and we need to deliver value earlier on. And so that's why we developed the Data X-Ray to deliver value earlier. This helps you discover regulatory risk and fix it with the Ohalo app. What this gives you in total is a data marketplace that you can use data as an asset and build new lines of revenue. So So this is what our data X-ray looks like. It's a web application requiring no integration. You can list up your data assets, compare them against the regulations, and find out if there's issues. If you have an issue, you can fix it with our real-time data governance antivirus. It's an application that sits at existing applications. It knows what data is going in and out of that application and under what policies that's possible. We use a blockchain to keep an audit trail of all that activity, as well as provide very strong cryptographic identities of databases. And it's a huge market. So we've interviewed, like I said, dozens of chief data officers, and they've identified a willingness to pay of anywhere between $500,000 and $10 million a year to fix these problems. We've started out in large banks because that's the market we know the best, and that's where the pain is felt the most. But this isn't a problem just for banks, right? It's a problem with insurers, it's a problem with media, it's a problem with pharmaceutical companies, and more. We have a great team. I myself lived in Tokyo for 10 years. I used to work for Mitsubishi UFJ Morgan Stanley here. And we've been very capital efficient. So we've bootstrapped product development through client revenue. We just took our first outside funding from 500 startups who's sitting around here somewhere. And we have a growing pipeline of 18% week on week towards launch. So that's us. We enable data access. We make sure that all that data access is tracked. And we provide a way to keep up to date with the latest regulations. 投資家の皆さん、現在シードラウンドのクロージングしています。金融機関の皆さん、3週間以内にデータ X-ray を作ることができますので、ぜひお声掛けください。ご清聴いただきありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Ohio.
Hello, my name is Kazuyoshi Mishima, co-founder of Keychain. Let me speak Japanese. キーチェーンのユニークなポイントを先に申しますと、ディーセントラライズな、オーセンティケーションのプラットフォームというのをブロックチェーンでも作って、おります。これを使いまして、複数の方、それから、多数のですね、分散 P2P のトランザクションのデジタルシグネチャーということもできます。プロダクトはすでにありますので、明日からでも、ご利用いただくことができるということでございます。コーファウンダーは2人でございまして、シンガポールと日本に今エンティティを持っています。ジョナサン・ホープという、ゴールドマン・サックスとブルームバーグでハイフレキシートレーディングシステムを作っていた人物と、私は20年くらいですね、フィンテック系のことをやっております。おかげさまで、1年半くらいの設立ですけれども、IoT 推進コンソーシアムであったり、ネドさんから今研究開発費をいただいてブロックチェーンの開発を行っております。何を解決したいと思っているかというと、データプロベナンス、誰がデータを作りましたか、誰がコントラクトを作っているか、それから、これは改ざんされていないでしょうか、監査対応はできますかということを、サポートしたいということでございまして、そのためにですね、通常のビットコインとか、イサリアムというブロックチェーンというのはディストリビューティブレジャーの中にですね、トランザクションをずっと書き込んでいくようなシステムになっているので、たくさんトランザクションがあるとスケーラビリティの問題が出る可能性がございますと。一方、キーチェーンの場合はブロックチェーンに記入するのはですね、そのオーセンティケーションとかクレデンシャルインフォメーションのチェッキングのところだけでございまして、そのチェックした後は、アダムさんとボブさんは、直接ですね、デジタルシグネチャーでの、コントラクトだったり、データのトランザクションをしましょうということで、ブロックチェーンの中には、要は認証したデータしか入っていないということで非常に軽いシステムになっています。キーチェーンのアーキテクチャを申しますと、第一レイヤーとしてはですから IoT デバイスとかモバイルにですね、当社のキーチェーンゲートウェイソフトウェアをインストールしてもらうということになります。これは非常に小さくて数メガですので、今入れているのはこれの半分くらいの IoT デバイスにもですね、もうすでにインストールしていますし、Android と iPhone にも入れるようになっています。その上にブロックチェーンのオーセンティケーションのプラットフォームの上にですね、皆さんの企業のインフラストラクチャーは全く変えずにブロックチェーンの効果を、明日から使えるというのが、特徴になっています。なんでかっていうと、一番下のレイヤーにですね、 からのデータが申請であるということが、ソフトウェアから確認ができるということになるんです。でもう一つ面白いのは、その上にですね、デジタル証明のこの機能を使って契約をお作りになったり、スマートコントラクトをお作りになったり、またはですね、皆さんご自身のトークンを使ってセトルメントをしたり SDK というものをやるということもご自由にできるという、プラットフォームである、そして互換性があるというところが特徴になっています。現在このサービスを AI の企業さん、それからマルティナショナルなブロックレッジさんがですね、今ご利用を開始しておりまして、例えばそのグローバルな工場とのですね AI のデータのやり取りというのはすごくセンシティブなデータのやり取りをグローバルにしますので、そういうものについて最初からエンドトゥエンドのエンクリプションでデータのやり取りというのに使っていただいております。これが少しイメージですけれども、ドロップボックスみたいにですね、ドラッグ&ドロップで、左のフォルダに入れると相手の信託銀行のところに、セキュアに暗号化されたデータが行くので、中間者攻撃がないというシステムになっています。この電子署名の機能を使えば、例えば、コネクティッドカーの、車とですね、モバイルデバイス持っていればこれで契約をして、車に乗るとか、ここから保険の契約を使うようになるということができたり、たらればですけれども、エレクトリカルマネタリークレームっていうのは、電子証明があればいいので、債務者、債権者、それから各銀行さん、電債さんのですね、全てのシグネチャーが載った電債というのを動かすことも可能でございます。で、当社はこういう、ベーシックなプラットフォームの技術を、作ってはいますけれども、例えばコンソーシャム用に、ブロックチェーンをお使いになるのは金融機関さんがコンソーシャムで、ブロックチェーンをお使いになる。で、当社はライセンスだけするというような形式でビジネスモデルでいければなと思っております。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
おはようございます。株式会社クラウドリアリティのヌリアと申します。本日はよろしくお願いします。弊社はですね、日本で初かつ唯一の不動産証券化とエクイティクラウドファンディングを組み合わせたプラットフォームを運営しております。個人を中心としたクラウドから少額の出資を募り、資金需要のある不動産関連の案件に資金提供を行っております。この仕組みによって特に資金調達が困難である地方創生の案件など資金需要の幅広い資金需要に応えることが可能になります。まず我々の課題認識としてなんですけれども、日本国内には資金調達ができない不動産関連プロジェクトが多数存在しております。例えば少子高齢化社会の日本ではですね、空き家問題が深刻化しておりまして、現状約1000万戸の空き家が確認されておるんですが、こちら2030年前半には約倍になっていて、全住宅の約 30% が空き家になると言われております。でこれを受けてですね、イノベーション工事による空き家の再生といった活動が活発になってきておるんですが、こちら資金調達が非常に難しくなってきておりまして、例えばJ リートなどのキャピタルマーケットでの資金調達ですね、数十億から数百億の規模にならないと、エクイティファイナンスによる資金調達は採算が取れませんというところで、一方で金融機関さんの借り入れですが、そもそも老朽化が進んでいるなどの理由によってですね、不動産の担保価値がない案件が多くありまして、こちらもなかなか融資が難しいというような状況になっております。ここで我々の具体的な取り組みなんですけれども、この真ん中にある町屋ですね、築100年以上の木造2階建てで京都にある町屋なんですけれども、こちら長い間融資がつかなくてですね、これらを再生したりですとか、回収したりとかっていうところの資金調達を数多くの方が試みてきたんですけれども、誰もできませんでした。例えば地元に根強い不動産屋さんですとか、個人としての信用のある上場企業の経営者様、それですとか、あとはですね、現地で宿泊業などを営んでいるスタートアップ等ですね、これらの方が長年資金調達ができなかったところをですね、我々のサービスによって約3週間で調達を実現しました。我々の方で不動産を取得して証券化するという名目で資金調達を行いましたが、約7200万の規模で、その手回りとしては約 IRR で 10% を提示することで資金調達を完了しております。 でこれらの資金使途なんですけども、町屋の改修ですね、改修と運営の費用に充てることになっておりまして、約3年間運営して、そちらの配当を個人の投資家に還元していくというところで、町づくり、町屋再生といった社会テーマを組みつつ、かつリートの2倍程度の利回りを提供するような金融商品に仕立てております。おさらいですけれども、地域の金融機関でなかなか融資がつかなかった案件を、証券家としてはかなりの極小のサイズ、7200万というサイズで、かつ J リートの2倍近い利回りを還元するという金融商品を実現しております。これをですね、実現できたのは、我々が弊社で独自に開発して作り上げた低コストの証券化スキームと、オンラインでの公募を組み合わせたイノベーティブなプロダクトを提供しているからであって、投資家にとっては一口1万円から5万円という少額のサイズから不動産投資を行うことができ、かつ高い配当を受けることができると。一方で資金事業者、発行体ですね、発行体としては円滑に資金調達を実行することができるといったメリットがございます。でこれはですね、証券化スキームについてなんですけれども、不得法、貸金業法、金商法、そして税法、これらのですね、複雑に絡み合う法規制を紐解いて、我々がこのユーザーの UX を最大化するべく最適解を考案したスキームとなりまして、こちら我々が約2年間ですね、各規制当局、金融庁財務局含めた規制当局と2年間議論を繰り返した上で築き上げたスキームになります。でこれによってですね、我々の資金調達、J リートに比べると約100分の1以下のコストに削減することを実現しております。でこれはですね、まさに不動産証券化と資本市場に深い知識と経験があり、かつそれらを効率的に実現するテクノロジーとオペレーションが不可欠となっておりまして、我々のチーム体制なんですけれども、それらの、経験と実績のあるものをそれぞれに配置してですね、力のあるチームを作っております。で今後海外の展開も検討しておりまして、今東南アジア、北米、ヨーロッパにもエストニアに拠点があるんですけれども、それらの不動産証券化も進めてまいります。最後にですね、エクイティクラウドファンディングと不動産証券化を組み合わせたスキームを切り口として、我々クラウドリアリティは全ての取引がピアトゥピアで行われるような非中央集権型の直接金融のシステムの創設を目指してまいります。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
Try again. So, hello everybody. My name is Pavel Matveev and I'm CEO of Varex. Varex is a London-based fintech company established about 3 years ago, and at the moment we are the global leader of cryptocurrency market with more than 800,000 customers in more than 130 countries, including Japan. We've got a few fintech awards, including award from FinSam last year. We have about 70 people and we're based in London, Tokyo and Ukraine. And we have some Japanese partners and investors. What actually Varex is? So Varex is a blockchain personal finance platform which combines the benefits of cryptocurrencies with traditional card and payment infrastructure. And I will explain this in a couple of minutes. So you can see on the screen is our traction. So we're planning to reach 1 million customers in a couple of months. And every day we onboard about 3,000 customers. It's more than any retail bank, at least in UK. So we have, part of our solution is a B2C product line. It contains 2 parts. So one is Varex application, so it's a mobile app where you can keep your digital assets like cryptocurrencies. We support more than 50 cryptocurrencies as well as fiat currency. So you can access 24/7. It's a multi-signature secure wallet. And the second part of our B2C solution is a Visa card, so it looks like that, and it's linked to your cryptocurrency wallets, and it allows you to use your digital asset anywhere in the world, anywhere where Visa or MasterCard is accepted, and it's 40 million of merchants in more than 200 countries. So instead of convincing every single merchant to start accepting cryptocurrency, we use existing rails of existing card network. And today I'm pleased to announce our B2B product line. If we can go to the next slide. So the core technology for our B2B product is Wirex payment network, or we call it WPay. It's the first in the world off-chain multi-asset liquidity network. I don't want to go too deep in the technical part of it, but what it allows you to do, it allows you to do instant international cross-border payments in different currencies. It can be cryptocurrency, it can be tokenized assets. So my colleagues previously were talking about tokenization. And it's perfect, it allows you to do machine-to-machine payments, so don't forget we slowly move into the era of connected devices and IoT, so by 2020 there will be 25 billion of connected devices. And currently you can't do machine-to-machine payments on a global scale with traditional instruments. You can now with our technology. And it's because it's off-chain, we save a lot of money on blockchain fees, and the fees is very near to zero. So this is the main feature of our liquidity network. Again, it's a B2B solution, so the main focus is for businesses. So it's multi-asset, it supports 15 altcoins at the moment, and it's quite easy to add a new one. It has multiple integration options, so you can use REST API, or you have assets already tokenized. You can add this in our system. Security, instant payments, it's connected with Visa network, and you can have access to a global network of merchants. So why businesses might be interested in this value proposition? So first of all, you will save a lot of time on integration. You have access to a deep liquidity pool. This system actually, we have been developing it for 2 years. It has been tested by 800, almost 1 million of clients. So it's tested, it's verified, it's not POC. This is production ready. And next part of our B2B product line is corporate cryptocurrency accounts. So our value proposition for businesses is single API. There are a lot of currencies, a lot of cryptocurrencies, and we probably want to save time on integrating all of them. We've done it for you, and we'll give you one API to access. Because it's based on our liquidity network, you have instant real-time conversion, deep liquidity pool. We know that liquidity is a requirement for businesses. So because we have a lot of participants in the network, our liquidity pool is very deep. We can exchange millions and millions. And because we integrated with a lot of participants, we can get you the best rate. And yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you.
グッドマネージャーの清水と申します。よろしくお願いします。これ最後なんですかね、多分。最後ですよね。多分お疲れかと思うんで、さっさと話したいと思います。金融教育をやってます。で、よく質問され、私、証券会社出身なんですけど、何を勉強したらいいんですか、どうやったらうまくなるんですかっていうことをすごくよく言われていて、確かにうまく勉強する方法ってないなって、何が正しいか何が間違ってるかも全然出てないなっていうことを思っているので、それをうまく、提供できればいいんじゃないかというふうなことで会社立ち上げました。で、とは言ってもですね、なんか勉強しても、勉強って言っても面白くないので、ゲームとかを使ってですね、学べたらいいんじゃないのかなと思って、金融教育のところ、ゲーミフィケーションを活用した金融教育の提供をやっています。で、試しにカードゲームとか作ったりしていて、でボードゲーム作ったりとか、あとシミュレーションゲーム作ったりとか、そういうのをやっています。で、例えば今ご覧いただいたものは、経済と商品のイベントですね、経済イベントと商品のイベントを、紹介するものです。例えば金融緩和とかですね、そういうイベントが起きたときに、あなたが例えばドルを持ってたとしましょうと。そしたらこのドルは上がるでしょうか、下がるでしょうかみたいな、そういう経済のつながり、仕組みですね、こういったものを、提供しようとしています。 で、ミクシーさんとかの、で提供したり実績があります。でそうすると、これですね、こういうのやったりしてます。で、これをアプリにしたりとか、あとアプリだけじゃなくて、そのオンラインとオフラインどっちもで提供していくということで、どんどんですね、金融リテラシーを上げていこうとしています。で、ここまでやってると、で、何に投資したらいいんですかってすごい聞かれると、勉強になりました、ありがとうございました、じゃあっていうことじゃなくて、ちなみに今だったら何がいいんですかっていうふうにすごく聞かれるんで、そういう投資のアドバイスもやっています。で、我々がお客さんにアドバイスをして、お客様が我々が連携している証券会社さんや銀行さんで、トレードをすると、キャッシュバックをしてもらうと、そういう代理店のようなモデルで、これ、金融商品仲介業という IFA というモデルで、ライセンスも取ってるんですけれども、こういう形でやってます。アメリカだとこの IFA というモデル、多分すごく多くてですね、日本だと生命保険だとこういうスタイルが多いと思うんですけど、なかなか証券業で、日本の証券業でこのモデルでやってるところはほとんどないということで、初めてオンラインでこれを提供しようとしています。で今すでに楽天証券さんと提携してまして、実質ビジネスを始めていて、マネックス証券さんにもこのアルゴリズムを提供したりしていて、いろいろ提供させていただく金融機関さんを増やしています。さっきの金融教育のところは、地銀さんとか、あとは某新金さんとかですね、そういったところで、ゲームを買っていただいたり、あとは研修の時に使っていただいたりということをやっています。でこれはアルゴリズムですね、アルゴリズムを作っていて、私がですね、もともとリーマンブラザーズに新卒で入社しまして、私、リーマンブラザーズ最後の新卒なんですけど、2008年の4月に入って、2008年の9月、みたいな会社潰れてまして、でそのクライシスマネジメントをちゃんとできた方がいいなと思ったので、その経済のクライシスっていうのをちゃんと当てたい。その明日から明後日下がるみたいなのって、やっぱり AI 使ったりしても全然当たらないので。とはいえ、マーケットが悪いと、景気が悪いって時に投資せんでええやないかということを伝えたいなと思っています。で、そういうアルゴリズムでやっています。なので、IT バブルとかリーマンショックとかの前に、危ないよっていうサインが出るような、そういうシグナルが出るようなものを作っています。で、ここまでやってて、改めて日本の人ってその投資しないなということを思ってるんですけど、その原因がもう3つあるなと思っていて、1つがやっぱ分からないということと、もう1つ時間がない、面倒くさい。で、最後は面倒くさいですね。もうこの3つに尽きると。でこの3つが、解消されるか、この3つがあっても、この3つを享受しても、それを超えるリターンがありそうだ。ビットコインそうですよね。であればみんな投資する。っていうことだと思っていて、この3つ解除できればいいなということで、今、新しいプロダクトをどんどん作ろうとしています。で、分からない人に対しては、ロボアドバイザーとかあると思うんですけど、そうじゃなくて、大事なことは性格診断とかだと思っていて、その質への許容がないとか、おっちょこちょいだとかですね、飲んだ後に投資しちゃうとかですね、そういう人はやめた方がいいと思うんで、ちゃんとやった方がいいよということをアドバイスして、で、あなたはこういうところが知識が足りないから、こういうの勉強したらいいんじゃないですかっていうのを提供すると。で、次が、そうですね、で時間がない人に対して、で時間がないというのは、2つあると思ってるんですけど、自分で調べたり、自分で勉強したりする時間がないという話と、自分でトレードをする、その管理する、マネジメントする、メンテナンスする時間がないっていう、その2つがあると思っています。でそれも全部、こっちで提供しますよと、今マーケットがこうだから、今環境がこうだから、あなたはこういう人だから、こういうふうなものにして、こういうふうな投資をしたらいいんじゃないですかっていうのを提案する。で最後、面倒な人に関してということなんですけど、あとは証券会社と我々連携してますので、さっきの話で言うと楽天証券とかと連携してますので、もうこうワンクリックでも注文が全部飛んでいくというふうなものを作っています。なので、フィンテックっていろんな会社が出てると思うんですけど、我々は、大手の左側でいうと大手の証券さん、大手の銀行さんとユーザーさんの間に入ったり、右側でいうとネットの証券さん、ネットの銀行さんとユーザーさんの間に入ったりして、口座は開いたけどなかなかトレードしないとか、口座は開いたけどなかなか商品買わない、売ったり買ったりしないとか、そもそも口座も開かないとかっていう人たちの架け橋になっていければいいなというふうに思ってビジネスを広げています。ですので、もし何かどんなものを使ってるの、どういうゲームがあるのとかっていうふうに興味を持っていただける方がいらっしゃるんですね、この後ぜひお声かけいただければなというふうに思います。今日はどうもありがとうございました。